So I am back, you're back, and we're both back to fight these stinking oblobbles. By the way, this is Wall Crawl doing our all achievements Hollow Knight guide. These oblobbles are a pain. They're a pain just in normal pantheons. They're a pain at the end of the trial of the Conqueror, I believe. And so they can give people fits. So let me show you what works for me. But basically, what you want to do is the worst thing is getting trapped between them or trapped in the corner. You want to try to make sure you have distance from the oblobbles so you can avoid the little projectiles that they spit out. Now, when they're both there, they spit them out slower, but there's, like twice as many of them because they're both shooting them. And then later on, they spit them out really fast when there's only one of them. So it's two different problems, kind of. And in the beginning, you want to try to get to one side of them. And you're going to spawn right there in the middle, but you're going to want to try to get to one side. And then you'll hit them a couple times and try to blast them with a Shade Soul Blast. And if you can get kind of up to the middle of the screen, oftentimes, and if you can try to wait till they're a little bit close to each other, it will catch them and drag them both away from you and hit them twice with that Soul Blast. So then you can jump back into them and right after they do the splay of like shots, and you try to get a couple of hits in and then jump up and blast them back again. And you just try to keep them away from you as much as possible. Now, something about the general mechanics of it before we move on to phase 2. If you hit them from below, they don't change directions. If you pogo them, because you're insane, it doesn't change their direction either. But if you hit them on the side, they will immediately turn around and face you and start going that way. So sometimes it's better just to leave them to keep moving further away from you so you can be in control of the fight and be in control of where they are. So that's just really good to know and think about. And it helped me once I became more aware of that particular piece of the mechanic. So again, you're just hitting them and trying to release a blast and then jump up after some, hit them, jump back and release a blast. And just keep that pattern up. You only have to release something like 4 or 5 blasts and one of them will be dead. Then you move on to the second phase, and that's dealing with the enraged one. And then my strategy changes to great slashes and dash slashes, mostly dash slashes. You be as far away as possible as they shoot out the stuff, and then as soon as it's done, you jump up and try to hit them with a dash slash, and then dash back away so you can avoid and jump in. You can even jump in toward the very end of it, because as you activate your Shade Cloak, you can even warp through some of their little projectiles, and they would not hurt you because your Shade Cloak cancels that damage out, as long as you've already got into the dash. That is about it. I'm trying to think of anything else. If you also, it still does hate the blasts. So if you have extra soul that you don't want to use on a heal or anything, then you can spam it out and it'll still like carry it off to the side. If you get stuck underneath one or sometimes both of them, they don't like Abyss Shrieks, but I wouldn't try to use your soul that way unless you're kind of trapped beneath. It's typically not, in my opinion, the best way. It doesn't control where they go as much, and so that's better. If you need heals, especially in the second phase when they're going crazy, you can usually step in where one projectile lands. You can step into that little spot, like let it pass and then go right there, and then you can get a heal in real quickly. Like I said, with them turning, sometimes it's better to go underneath them and hit them to turn them instead of hitting them on one side and then like basically trapping yourself in a corner. It's almost impossible to avoid their shots if you're trapped in a corner. All right, let's do this. Let's try it. Hopefully I'll get, a good run that shows that particular strategy. Okay, so we start in the middle. We're going to have to be stuck in the middle for a second and avoid. We're trying to get them to one side All right, and now I'm gonna blast across. This is a particularly difficult one because that may not be a problem, but because they staggered themselves on the shots. Okay, so blast him back. He didn't go very far. I'm gonna go across this way, and I'm just gonna let him chill. Let him go. They ran into each other. Nice. Okay, so it's now enraged time. All right, dash away. I had to kind of... There we go. Get my dash in. Nice. He didn't come down all the way. Yeah. So, as he comes across, that'll push you back a bit. I'm going to just warp away. Let's go ahead and get a heal in. See, right where that landed, it gives me an opportunity to heal. Go back across here. I would probably typically get another heal in. And that's the fight. So you can see some of my strategy was working. There was some times when they disrupted it, and they're gonna be that way. They're gonna be a challenge. Let's do it again, and let's see how it flows. It probably won't flow the whole way really good. They both go opposite directions. It helps when they both go the same direction, because then you can use that to your advantage. All right, jump up. And see how the Shade Soul just sends them back so much. And you don't have to get that many of them in. This will probably kill one of them. Yep, there we go. Warpy warp. There, I see I canceled that. And when I hit him, that's when he turns around. I'm gonna let him just go. Now he's getting farther away from me. There we go. Up. And we did it. That one, it actually worked better with the strategy. Still got hit, but it didn't get disrupted as much. So both of them, you could see me working towards those specific goals, and it worked for you, or I'm sorry, it worked for me. Hopefully it'll work for you as well. Try not to freak out with them. Try to control them by placing them where you want them to be, and then that actually makes you more comfortable to jump in and attack them and just not be as worried about them. They're a pain, but you got this. You can do this. If you have any other questions about it, just let me know. If you found this helpful, hit me up with a like, with a subscribe. That'll make me smile. All right, bye.